What if I told you that a 19-year-old academy star is now the center of a high-stakes transfer saga involving two of England's biggest clubs? Let me break this down. Here's a kid who barely got into the starting 11 last season, 5 league starts, 36 total games, and suddenly he's being floated as a solution to Manchester United's left-back crisis. It's wild, right? But here's the thing, when you're a club like Arsenal, staring at a £75 million hole from Bruno Guimaraes' exit, you don't just sit back and hope for the best. You start shopping your young assets, even if they've only just begun to scratch the surface of their potential. And that's exactly what's happening here. Myles Lewis-Skelly, the kid who won the Premier League last season but mostly watched from the bench, is now on the radar of United and even Chelsea. But why? What's the real story here? Let's dig in. Look, I get it. Arsenal's financial situation is a mess. They spent big on Guimaraes, and now they're trying to balance the books. But selling a 19-year-old for £45 million? That's not just recouping costs, it's a gamble. You're basically betting that this kid is the next star, but he's not even fully proven yet. I mean, how many times have we seen clubs overvalue young talents because they're desperate? It feels like a classic case of, we need to move him before someone else does, but is that really the best strategy? Or are they just trying to avoid looking like fools for paying £75 million for a player who might not even be a starter next season? And then there's Manchester United. They've already spent £83 million on Tielemans and Santos this summer. Adding another £45 million for a left-back who's only just starting to show his stuff. It's either a bold statement about their long-term vision or a sign they're grasping at straws. Honestly, I think it's both. United's left-back situation is a disaster. They lost Guimaraes, Tonali, and Gordon, all of them. Now they're looking at Lewis-Skelly, and whoever else they can find. But here's the kicker, none of these players are guaranteed starters. They're all young, unproven, or coming off injuries. It's like trying to build a house with half the materials you need. You're forcing the issue, and that's dangerous. What really gets me is the way this whole transfer market has shifted. Clubs are no longer waiting for players to peak, they're buying them while they're still developing. It's a race to the bottom in terms of risk, but the rewards could be massive. If Lewis-Skelly turns into a top-tier left-back, Arsenal gets their money back and maybe even more. If he flops, well, that's on United, right? But here's the deeper question, is this the future of football? Are we entering an era where clubs prioritize short-term financial fixes over long-term development? Because if so, we're going to see a lot more of this, kids being moved before they're ready, just to keep the books balanced. And let's not forget the human side of this. Lewis-Skelly's a kid. He's been at Arsenal since he was a teenager, part of the Arteta project, and now he's being sold before he's even had a chance to fully grow into his role. It's not just about money, it's about opportunity. What happens if he goes to United and fails? Does he become a scapegoat for a club that's already struggling? Or does he thrive and prove everyone wrong? Either way, it's a huge moment for him. But from a fan's perspective, it's heartbreaking to see a young talent get thrown into the fire like this. It's not just about the transfer fee, it's about the future of a player's career. So, what's the takeaway here? This isn't just a simple transfer story. It's a microcosm of modern football's financial pressures, the risks of investing in youth, and the chaos that comes with it. Whether Lewis-Skelly ends up being the answer to United's prayers or a cautionary tale for Arsenal, one thing's clear, the game is changing, and we're all just trying to keep up. But here's the thing, when you're dealing with young players, the stakes are always higher. And that's something every fan should remember the next time they see a 19-year-old being sold for millions.